KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's the weekend!
Warriors! Warriors! Come on to play!
Yeah! Here we go!
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm Rob Romano, alongside my partner in crime, the legend, Neil Lynch, who is alongside Arizona super fan, Mr. AZ Sports, joining us again this week. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how you doing? So, for those of you listening to the live show, do us a favor. Go on our text line, 888-368-1580. Text in and say hi and tell us where you're listening to the show from. That's 888-368-1580.
Listening from hell. Don't say that.
What? What am I supposed to... What?
Nothing.
What did I do wrong
What's going
now?
on, Mr. AZ Sports?
Good morning. How are you?
We're, good.
We're broadcasting live from the... Oh, never mind. You already
And don't
said
forget,
that.
hey, we're live on YouTube, so...
Yeah, if you want to see our beautiful or my beautiful face,
And
these
mine.
guys,
I don't know about his.
Nathan's
There's-
all right.
Look, it's three ugly dudes on YouTube Live.
Three
so-
ugly dudes.
Two, but
Hey, we should
Wow.
rename the show Three Ugly Dudes.
Three
That's fine.
ugly dudes. That'd be a good
That's
name for the show.
fantastic.
So-
We have way too much energy for a Saturday morning, but let's go on.
There's a lot of stuff that happened this week in sports.
Okay.
Busy
like what?
week. Busy week. So let's start where any man would start. The NBA draft.
What? I thought you were going to say the bathroom. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I
Never
did
mind.
start there this morning, but now I'm good.
Okay, so now, but the NBA draft.
so
All
are
right.
you happy? You got your guy.
Dalton Connect.
No, Bronny.
I say my name.
You got your guy. You got the guy you were wanting all week. We heard you got texted us all week about him. You were
Yeah,
excited.
I texted you all week. We were like praying on the side of our bed. I beat my kids into submission. He better get drafted. We're gonna kill you.
You know-
No.
This is how Ralph was raised,
So-
by the way, just so you know.
Again, Bronny James is just a favor to LeBron. It was a wasted draft pick. It's all it was.
I gained a new sense of respect for LeBron. That he went out of his way to make sure his son got in the NBA, gets the training and coaching for him to be successful. That's the type of parent you
Who's
want
going
to
to train and coach him?
The coaches.
The podcast host.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's like
a tough crowd.
So here's I was thinking about this. This all started back with Jeannie's dad, Dr. Jerry Buss,
The legend.
letting Magic run the team.
Right.
It has now gone to its complete, full, logical conclusion where you basically, like, they're not even trying to pretend anymore.
Right.
Because you literally hire a coach with no relevant coaching experience. Yeah, he coached high school. So did I. Okay, I could be the Lakers
So
coach right
did
now.
I.
But they literally just said, you know what, LeBron, you can run the team. And we're just going to get some figurehead as a coach.
Okay, but what's wrong with
Bring
that?
your son. Well,
Dr. Jerry
I'm
Buss
curious-
came in and did that. Magic won, 4 or 5 titles?
Well, I'm curious, honestly, at this point, since they're going all the way through with it, it's kind of like that scene from Dodgeball. This is a bold move, Cotton. Let's see where this goes. Like,
Only dude.
I'm curious to see how this works now.
I think it'd be fine. I said it months ago. The Lakers can't hire a veteran seasoned coach. They've got to hire somebody that LeBron can basically say, hey, step aside. I got this. Because that's what's happening. We all know that.
So
We're not
J.J.
stupid.
Redick is the assistant coach.
In a sense,
basically.
he is, and he'll put some good guys around him. I've heard some names already. I've heard Sam Cassell. I've heard Rajon Rondo. I've heard all different names that they're looking at to get around him. So I think it's a good staff they could put together that maybe in 2 years when LeBron says goodbye, that they have enough experience where they can take it over and move on with AD. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not upset by the pick because who cares? How many second-round NBA picks even make it into the league?
The Joker.
Okay, one.
I mean, just saying.
We got one. One. I mean, it's like the WNBA. Barely any first rounders make it in, right? But I mean, there's not a lot of second rounders or people that even make it or that are ever relevant. So yeah, the people are saying, well, he took someone else's spot. Give me a break. No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's a tough argument to
But let's
defend,
talk about
so.
the Lakers' #1 draft pick.
That was a great pick.
Dalton Connect. I mean, the steal of the draft.
Great pick.
Absolute steal of the
He
draft.
dropped-
How he fell to number 17.
100%.
I don't get it. The guy's a sharpshooter. He's an amazing shooter. He's like a little mini Larry Bird out there. He can shoot.
But can he talk trash like Larry Bird?
I'm sure he can.
I hope so.
I'm just saying, I mean, that guy with that group, now having this guy that can come off the bench and just be a sharpshooter, That's a great draft pick.
100%.
I like that pick.
I actually think Lakers did well. I know it's just Bronny James, but still, it's just like
Bronny's got talent.
He's got talent.
He's not NBA ready, but he's got talent.
And he went through so many health issues last
Yeah,
year.
I mean-
Like, you just never know.
Between, people on the sideline pumping his heart while he was waiting and then going, I mean, come on, man. The poor kid. He seems like a really good kid from everything that I've heard. Pretty humble guy. He's going to go in there, and hopefully he'll be smart enough to learn. It's going to be kind of a weird. I don't know how it would be if me and my dad were playing on a professional team. I mean, that would be weird. I don't
Now,
know.
who was the?
Oh man, I can't. My dad almost beat me with a baseball bat one time.
That'd
I
be
don't
like
think
your
we
dad
would-
doing the Indy 500 again and having you in a sidecar.
having me like run him off the road.
Now, who had the worst draft?
Boy, that's.
I don't know. I was focused on the best draft. I can come back to that. I was focused on the Wizards. I really like the Wizards.
The
draft.
Wizards.
I really like their draft. I thought they did a great job, Keon. I know you're listening. I love their number one pick. I love the trades they made to get even more picks and what they did with those picks. I think the Wizards made themselves better immediately. That's just my take. I don't know what you guys think. I think the Lakers made themselves better immediately. How about the Suns? I don't know what the Suns really.
Ryan Dunn, I think, is a fantastic prospect. He just probably best defensive player in the draft, and watching him shoot is painful. He might be the worst offensive player in the draft, and in the last 10 years, actually, somebody said that he might be. I forget who, but they wrote an article that he might be the worst offensive prospect in the last 10 years, but he might be one of the highest defensive prospects in the last 10 years. It's like, oh
Really?
wow. Great. This guy literally just cannot shoot, but he has like all NBA pro defense level. So I'm excited for it. I think you put those guys with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. If there's ever an opportunity to learn how to shoot, you're going to learn from those guys.
Hold on a
Go
second.
ahead.
They still play defense in the NBA?
Not really.
Not aware of that.
I mean, yes, they do. Come on.
Oh, I know.
You ever watch
it's-
Anthony Davis play
it's,
defense?
It's
He's pretty amazing.
No, I know.
When
I
he's
know.
on the court.
Pretty much that's your differentiator if you're in the NBA. Because everybody plays offense. If you can play defense.
I mean, how
you're
do you grade the Suns?
I would give it probably a B. I didn't love the second pick. I just watching him shoot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is like OSO, but watching him shoot,
Oso.
he shoots like a floater like with one arm, and it's like really weird. I'm like, that's just not good form. But he's really athletic.
But form doesn't matter. Look at Rick Barry shooting free throws.
That's fair.
Right? I mean,
I like how we go to these like ancient
Random
old
old guys
school
that he's never
references.
seen, except
He's
for
like,
video.
I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube. I don't know what you're talking about.
underhanded, remember?
I remember. Yeah, Rick
I saw
Barry.
someone give the draft grades. I saw a few of them, and I saw the Suns got a C+.
I understand that. It's just because Ryan Dunn is just boom or bust. He's going to be one of those guys who can play B3 and D, or he's going to be one of those guys who just can't shoot and be a liability on the floor. They're going to either give him so much space to shoot and he misses, it's just not going to work, or he has to develop a shot.
Who had the best draft? I mean, I'm going to stick with the Wizards.
I think the Spurs.
I really like Alex Sarr. I think his upside's outrageous. I think he's going to be a stud. You like the Spurs?
The Spurs. They got Castle, which is just what the Spurs needed. They needed a point guard for Victor. And now all Castle's job pretty much is just feed Victor the ball, Wemby the ball, and that's it. And I just think that's going to be a great fit for them.
How about the fact that, and I think I saw this number, there was I think in the first round and even the top end, 6 players from France. Is that true?
Yeah, it was a big France draft.
What's going on in France?
I just think the league is expanding.
So this is what they wanted.
Or they're trying to
100%,
escape
right?
France.
I remember back to the
there's
old days.
that.
I can't remember. Was it the guy for the Bulls that they brought in from Europe? Oh, what was his name? Oh, come on.
Luke Longley?
No, back in the day when they brought him next to Jordan and all those guys.
I'm not sure.
Okay, anyway.
Olivier Lafont?
That's who it was. That's who it was. Jacques Zibois. But anyway, it seems like there's been this trend of European players just coming into the NBA year after year after year. This is what they wanted, and I guess we're here now, right?
But just look at the league. Look at 2 superstars. I can name Luka and the Joker right away. They're both not from America. So
True.
it's like the league is just expanding over the world, and it's great to see because it just makes it more competitive and more fun.
Yeah. I mean, basketball is truly an international sport. Like, unlike soccer, where soccer's international, it's really popular except here. But yeah, it makes sense to me that we're seeing a lot more all over the world, not just from a certain like hockey. It's always the U.S. and Canada and maybe Eastern Europe, right? But I think that speaks to the true international nature of basketball.
Now, did you see the Mikal Bridges trade?
no, tell me about that.
5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges.
I did see that. What the heck?
from the Knicks. Like, I get it. And then the Knicks re-signed OG, which is pretty much like just OG and Mikal are the same type of players. You just invested like your whole future into two wings, which Jalen Brunson, he's a superstar. I love him, love watching him play, but that was a lot for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Even as a Suns fan who knows how good Mikal is, 5 picks?
That's a lot.
That's
Ricky Williams-esque.
That's like Kevin Durant pick level, and you got
Ricky
Mikal Bridges. You gotta hope it works.
I don't see that.
I don't like it.
Maybe 2.
I would say 3, maybe a swap. But here's the thing: his contract is really low for the next 2 years, so that also helps their cap situation and everything. So I understand it, but now you have to re-sign him, you have to pay him. It's just a lot to give up for Mikal Bridges.
Well, I guess we'll see, man. I don't know. But anyway, so any other thoughts about the NBA draft before we move on?
None. You see my face, right? This is my.
I'm looking at you, and it reminds me of the draft show.
This is my NFL draft show look.
Crickets.
I don't know what's going on. Hello.
Anything else on the draft?
That's
We're
all I
good?
got.
All right, man. Let's move on from the draft. Let's talk. There's an NHL draft going on. What about that?
The National Hockey League.
No one's talking about that.
No one's talking about
And
the
neither
fact
are
that
we.
that's in the sphere.
That's the best part of it, right?
Have you seen the videos?
Yes.
It
That
looks
makes me want to go
incredible.
to the sphere.
Yeah, it just looks incredible. Looks like there's no bad seat in the house.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was saying before the show is that we're used to seeing clips of concerts happening, usually U2 in the sphere, and that's spectacular. But to actually be able to have the camera pan around and show you what the seating configuration looks like in there, that's what sold me. It's like, oh yeah, you're
haven't
right.
been
There's
there?
not a bad seat in the house.
You haven't been there yet?
Not yet.
You haven't been there yet?
No, have you?
No.
I have a chance to go in September because I'll be there for a work thing.
They
so
do concerts and stuff there too, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. I do want to go. I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's cool they're doing the draft there. That's surprising the NHL thought of that. That's
well, the NHL, but the problem, and you said it earlier, was that they didn't really market it very well. They just don't.
Exactly.
I mean, the NFL has mastered making the draft into this
this huge event. Yeah.
like a national holiday almost. But yeah, I mean, other leagues could certainly take the cue. I mean, the WNBA draft was more publicized than the NHL draft, which is just interesting.
That's because you have like the most hype prospect in WNBA history this year. That's why it was so marketed. Like you got Caitlin Clark.
True. That's true.
That's
I don't know
just-
who that is. I'm not allowed to
Next
say her name
season,
anymore.
there's not going to be that Caitlin Clark, so it's going to be like no one's going to talk about
Oh
it.
no! What's going to happen is Juju Watkins is going to come out of USC.
Have you seen the tapes of her
She's unreal.
slam and dunking the ball?
Oh, she's
Really?
unreal.
Oh, she's bad, man.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Juju Watkins is the
SC's
real
gonna have
deal,
a
man.
year this year. She's a beast.
Oh, I think we're going to start seeing a steady stream of those types of players coming out of college into the WNBA now.
I think that's awesome.
So, but anyway, back to the
NHL. So I don't know if you guys obviously the Panthers won the Game 7 and won their first cup in 30 years.
Yes.
First time in franchise history, which was cool. After the game, they do. I love hockey because of the way they shake hands after the series and
Yes.
stuff. Just the sportsmanship is just very cool. But then after that, they go to the commissioner and he gives away the Conn Smythe Trophy and the Stanley Cup, right?
Yes.
So a Conn Smythe Trophy is basically for the MVP of the playoffs. And Connor McDavid from Edmonton won the MVP of the playoffs. And he absolutely deserved
Yes.
it, right? So it's not uncommon. I guess, it's very uncommon, but you can see
Well,
where-
only the second time in the history
Second
of the
time in the
Conn Smythe
history, so
Trophy
that's why
that
it
it's
is-
gone
it
to
is-
the losing team.
So he deserved it. He got it. And so they announced that he was going to get the award, and he did not come back onto the ice
Yes.
to get it. Disrespectful or trying to be respectful of the Panthers celebrating?
So it's very easy to take the that was disrespectful argument. I get it. I have never played at that high of a level. I know a few people who kind of have, and I don't know in that moment. It's easy for me to say afterwards, oh, he should have gone out there. But in that moment, after basically spilling your guts on the ice only to come up short,
Right.
like I feel like that it was okay. I think it was too much of us to expect him to come out. When he didn't come out, I wasn't like, oh, I'm so offended. My attitude was, I'm not surprised. I don't know. I wouldn't have either.
How about you?
I really don't like to lose. There's no way I'm going out there to accept that after losing. There's no way.
I would absolutely go out there and get it.
Really?
And I would be like in my skivvies and my skates, and I would walk out there, and I would be like the attention getter of the whole arena.
Oh, so you'd like skate
I would
out
take
with
the moment away from the Panthers.
okay,
to go
so,
get
so
that.
you'd
30 seconds.
so you'd like get into your skivvies and skate out there and all bare chested and glistening and show off your.
I would be
pecs as
glistening.
you
That's a
go out
great
there.
word because when I think glistening, I think myself. So that's really
Well,
good.
okay. So the other thing too is that if you
15
went out there
seconds.
and did that, I don't think you'd. Get
We'll
the
touch
same
on that
reaction.
after the break because we have to go to a break.
Oh,
It's
fine.
going to save you. So Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh yeah.
The Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You remind me of every 80s guy, every 80s wet guy in a pink La Tigre who has their collar up and they start doing that dancing in the clubs. Remember that?
the La Tigre. I thought
my
it was
God.
an Izod.
There's Izod. The poor guys did La Tigre. I was kind of putting him somewhere.
Sorry,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sorry to break your bubble.
No, that was good. That
I was
was
born
good.
in the 90s.
So if you're listening, we talked about this earlier. We'll talk about it again. If you're listening, hey, join us live on the text line, 888-368-1580. Tell us where you're from, and if you have a take, go ahead. And I guess we got a text.
We do have a text. It's funny you said that. So Randy's on the text line, and he said he's the captain. He's the captain of Edmonton. No way he should go out there. Come on, Randy. You'd go out there. I'd go out there. It doesn't matter. I was always the captain of my team, and I always would put myself out there. So I know you'd put yourself out there, Randy. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
So I think from now on, I've now decreed a new nickname
here
for
we
Ralph.
go. Here we
the
go.
Glistening Ralph Romano.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
The
fine with
glisten.
If
it.
you ask most people, I listen.
Yeah, I feel like when I said that, it invoked this image in your mind of I don't know what. In fact, I may not even want to know, but ultimately, that's your new nickname. So
And don't forget, was it this Sunday? The free agency starts?
Yeah, NBA free agency starts Sunday.
This Sunday.
Oh,
so
yeah,
there's
we'll
going to be a
talk
lot
about
of
that.
interesting things going on.
LeBron
starting
already
Sunday.
opted out. We know he's going back,
He's
but
going
he
back.
did opt out.
It'd be funny if he left and left his son in LA.
If he went to like
Oh,
the
that would be-
Sixers, that would be great. He
I
gets
may
his son
actually
drafted.
I respect LeBron at that point.
If he did that, I would actually start liking him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope he does.
Look at his son and go, psych.
You guys drafted Bronny. I'm out.
I'm out. Thanks.
yeah,
That
you're
would be great.
Why would you draft Bronny?
And the
That's a
Lakers released
ridiculous.
second round pick, Bron James.
That's a ridiculous draft. I'm out of here.
All right, so big NFL news this week.
Dun,
What
dun,
happened?
dun, dun,
Everyone saw this.
Dun dun dun
Right?
dun.
So a judge ordered NFL to pay billions of dollars in the Sunday ticket case for violating the antitrust law. Did you guys see
NFL
this?
Sunday Ticket. So for those who aren't aware, there once upon a time, if you wanted to watch your football team when you lived in a different part of the country, there was a thing called satellite television. You've probably seen this on the top of your grandparents' mobile home trailer.
Wow.
But well, that's kind of where it is now. But anyway, satellite was the way to go. Now, they got these satellites really small, and they had companies like Dish and DirecTV. DirecTV had the coup d'etat by getting an exclusive contract with the NFL.
right.
So you could watch your team play wherever you lived in the country. You could watch all of the games all at once. So it was awesome. It was a boon for fantasy football participants because you could sit there all day, much to your wife or your spouse's chagrin, and watch football all day, all the games, all the time. So it was a great deal. But then you start thinking to yourself, you know what? I don't want to watch Baltimore and Cleveland in week 16 or week 17 because they're out of the playoffs. I just want to watch my team.
Right.
And that's the source of this lawsuit. Basically, the NFL at any point in time could have allowed DirecTV to let you just see your team. But like, nope, you got to get all of it. So that, I think, I've kind of described the gist of why this whole lawsuit happened. So a bunch of people decided, you know what? That's stupid. That's anti-competitive. It's collusion, whatever. I don't know the legal terminology. But that's, as a result of this, the courts ruled in favor of the plaintiffs. And so now the NFL is on the hook for paying this ridiculous amount.
$4.7 billion in damages to the residential class of people and another $96 million in damages to the commercial bars and stuff like that because they were way overcharged is what they were saying.
Well, yeah, the that's an interesting point. The commercial licensing, like, it makes a little less sense in that because obviously if you're going to a bar, you want to have all the games. But you know what? You took away the choice from them, and then you overcharge for it. There is definitely no competition in this market. As far as did you have DirecTV at one point?
I had DirecTV the day it came out.
Wow.
What year was that?
I don't remember. I just remember it being really expensive.
I got mine in 1998 when I moved from Wisconsin to Minnesota.
Right.
I literally installed that thing myself. Like I didn't have a tech come out and do it. I did it myself.
Sunday Ticket made its debut on DirecTV in 1994.
Okay, that's what
Oh
I got.
wow! So you had it for?
I had it day one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, day one, and I had it forever, and then until I finally realized, a couple of years ago, that DirecTV sucks, and I got rid of it.
Yeah, I dropped it probably 10 years in, just because
So I'm going to make money, is what you're saying.
So yeah, I'm not sure how
I
they're
want
going
money.
to pay this out, right? I think so. What's as far as we know, like if you obviously they've been talking about this. This is a massive settlement. So when you divide it up, what does it look like we're going to actually get from this?
Well, remember, before you get into that, so right now it's 4.7 billion, but since it's a federal antitrust law, it could actually triple. So the NFL could be liable for $14.39 billion in this case.
Wow,
If they
that's
make
like
that decision.
that's like Roger Goodell's going to have to take one
Could I get
less, one
$1,000
less
out of this?
vacation.
It says the 2.4 million fans who purchased Sunday Ticket will take home around $1,900 to around $2,000
Each?
each.
Oh
And
yeah,
inflation could change that number to a higher number. Don't expect the NFL to pay next month, though.
yeah, exactly. Right. Don't start planning stuff around that money. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be.
So
getting
does
some
this
money in
change anything for next year's Sunday Ticket? Like,
No.
will they just offer me the Cardinals games only now, or like?
Well, first of all, I'd offer those for free.
Oh wow!
Just saying.
Wow.
There's no
Shots
value.
fired.
I don't think it does change it. They were saying that it's not going to impact this next season at all, is what I had heard.
The season after maybe is where they
I would
implement the
think
changes.
at that point. The NFL made a statement. Remember, this isn't over yet. They said we will certainly contest this decision as we believe that the class action claim in this case are baseless and without merit. Of course, the NFL is.
Of course, you say that.
So this is going to drag for a little
So
longer. But
so how do you alienate your fan base? By saying, yeah, your thing against us, yeah, it's baseless. You're idiots.
yeah,
You're
but they
idiots
can,
for wanting to
they
watch
can
only your
alienate
team.
their fan base all they want. The fan base always comes back.
Oh, that's
I'm not going
true.
anywhere.
That's
Right.
true.
None of us
this
are.
Is,
No
this
no
is
matter
an-
how much we hate
this
them,
is
we'll
an
never go
abusive,
away.
This is an abusive relationship.
100%
We
is.
always go back.
We're in a bad
every
relationship.
time, and we don't care. They could do anything we want. And be like, yes, sir. May I please have another?
But does
I mean,
any sports league really care about the fans?
No.
Arena Football League does because they need them.
The Arena Football League. That's true. Yeah. Okay, we're
The
getting
big
into
monsters. I think obviously I don't know that the NFL does. I don't think they do.
They don't.
And NHL, NBA.
I would say
To a
that
point.
maybe NASCAR, kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't
think
know.
the closest is baseball, just because most baseball stadiums allow you to bring in outside food, so they don't care as much about their profit if they're allowing people to bring outside
I'm still
food.
shocked by that.
Oh, that's been going on. Yeah, that was funny. So we were talking about this. I think this was off air. We were talking about baseball stadiums, and Ralph didn't realize that there's been a trend in the last probably decade or so of stadiums, especially new ones, allowing you to actually bring in certain food items. Like you can bring a sealed water bottle. You can bring in packaged food in some
I
cases.
mean-
Each one is slightly different things, but even the Diamondbacks let you do that, right?
I took a Costco pizza to the Diamondbacks game.
I saw something online.
sweet.
What did you got? Tacos or something recently?
I had tacos and the biggest corny asada burrito ever, or quesadilla, which I regretted after like 20 minutes of eating it. I was like, man, my stomach.
So you were living in the bathroom instead of watching.
it
You
hurt.
regretted it 20 minutes later, and then 12
It
hours
hurt.
later,
It
you
hurt.
regretted it. So.
I saw that on.
That's
on,
why the
Twitter
next
and
day
stuff.
it was elk, meatballs, sweet potatoes, and asparagus because I needed to eat healthy after eating that.
That's crazy.
So yeah, again, I it's funny. You were talking about the dish on people's roofs.
Yeah.
I think back to when I was a kid. I used to have this shortwave radio.
Was it a Grundig?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Was it a Grundig? Probably a Grundig.
It was a big console radio and record player and all that my dad had. And so shortwave, basically you could pick up signals from Europe and different places. And so I used to listen to Seahawk games on shortwave radio and pick up the signal from Seattle.
Oh,
to
that
listen
is
to the game.
fantastic. That's a great story.
That's how bad it was when we were really young.
Oh yeah.
And now you have everything you have. We had it hard.
Or then
man.
the first generation of satellite TV was these gigantic
Oh, yeah.
military grade
Take up
satellites.
your backyard.
I had a friend in LA who had one, and it was funny because you had like the guide to show you how to select stuff, and it wasn't like you go to a channel guide and pick your channel.
Right.
You had to find the satellite.
Yep.
You had to find the subset of the satellite, and then like the satellite would literally move into position to track whatever satellite. Anyway.
Hey, on the text line, taking a shot at your Costco pizza. We got King of Kittens saying Costco pizza is garbage.
You know, I'm going to disagree with.
Come on, what are you gonna
I'm going
say
to
to
go ahead and disagree with that. Costco pizza is not horrible. I mean, like, so what do they think is a better pizza?
Yeah, King of Kittens, what's better?
Yeah, King of Kittens. What do you got for us?
Why are you insulting our guy here? This is a super fan. What are you doing, man?
I'm not going to disagree that it's not great.
I just defended
But
him, and then he
you
comes right back
can't-
in there.
He's
and
like,
kicks
yeah,
me
you're
out.
right.
For
I'm
$10 and you get that much pizza, ooh, it's a bang for your buck.
Ah,
No,
you're fired.
Years ago, when my son was much younger, we would go to Sam's Club, and that was part of it. Like, we would plan it around dinner, and we would literally go to get the Sam's Club pizza.
Sam's Club pizza is way better than Costco. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There
They
you
got
go.
like 3 meat, pepperoni, bacon on it, Canadian bacon. Oh, so good.
So I
move on.
want to make sure this gets brought up because it's kind of passed already. But you know, and on this show we talked a lot about the Women's College World Series, but we didn't talk a lot about the Men's College World Series.
No, we did not.
And obviously, we all know that what was it? Tennessee won the whole thing.
Yes. They beat
Yep.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Yeah, the only thing I've seen about the game was the pitcher for Tennessee. I think had like the handlebar mustache.
Yeah, he's cool
Like
looking.
he's
dude,
like
right?
he's like the alpha male. Like it was like Ron Swanson as a
So,
pitcher kind of thing.
It was a great World Series, but that's not the story. So the
What's-
story.
what's the story?
The coach of Texas A&M. So his
that
name
guy.
is Jim Schlossnagel, which that name is horrendous. So we're gonna call
Slobnobber?
Incredible name.
for all you older men. We're gonna give him this last name from now on. So he's Jim Snossages.
Snossages.
We like Snossages. So Mr. Snossages went on. He's a great coach. I mean, he's fantastic. He has an impeccable record. Everywhere this guy has gone, he's been a winner. He even got UNLV to win their conference title. I mean, this guy can coach, right? He did a great job at TCU. He's taken A&M to, I want to say 3 College World Series in 10 seasons. Anyway, he's a stud. The guy's an amazing coach. So he was in the news conference after the game, after they had lost Game 3. So obviously he's upset, right? So I want to play you a clip from Coach Snossages.
Sausages.
So here's the clip.
Respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Yeah, I had to throw Snossages in there.
Sausages.
So I get it. The next day, he takes a job with UT.
No way.
No.
The next day, man. How ridiculous is that? These college coaches, no loyalty, no shame.
That is
just leaves after that whole spiel of, oh, I moved here and I sacrificed for my
that's
family and blah,
straight
blah,
up,
blah.
straight up thug. Right
So he
there.
wins the Daily Award. Absolutely.
Snossages.
He gets the Snossage Award. I mean, I can't even
That's
believe
sad.
that he did this.
I go back to my original nickname, Slobnobber. That's what he did. He slobnobbed the other team.
You should have just said, I'm not answering that question at this time.
Right?
Yeah,
That would have
exactly.
been better. That would have been a lot better, but he put himself out there and then he had to look like an idiot the next day. So
He better have got paid.
Well,
I'm sure he did.
because
He had to
I hope that money can take the place of his reputation.
And he's a great coach, man. He really is. The guy, everywhere he goes, he wins. But that was just
he's just a pathological liar. No big deal.
So King of Kittens came back. I just want to go there real quick. Any Italian restaurant makes better pizza. Oregano's, for example.
Okay, yeah, but you're spending like $40.
Wait, did they say oregano's?
Oregano's.
Isn't
Oregano's
that a
is-
chain?
Yeah, it's a chain.
Is it a chain? I thought it was Arizona only.
It's a chain in Arizona. I think there's a few of them.
I like Polano's better, but you know whatever.
I'm not an Oregano's fan at all.
Have you guys heard of this Trevor's Pizza?
No.
No.
So Dave Portnoy came out to
Oh,
Arizona, and he
I
he was
forgot about
doing
that.
a meetup with
Yeah.
his dog, which Miss Peaches is an incredible dog,
Yes.
whatever, and she's
Yes.
the most famous dog in the United States probably. And they came out and said, "We have pizza for you. Want to try it?" And he gave it like the highest rating. One of the highest ratings he usually gives. It was like an 8.3, 8.4, highest rating in Arizona. You go to Trevor's now, it's like a 45-minute
Oh, yeah.
wait. You
Absolutely.
can't even get in. I had to go during lunch at like 10:30 in the morning to walk in. It's pretty good, though.
Barstool Sports effect.
It
It didn't work for the Arizona Bowl apparently, but you know it works for a pizza place.
I wish I could eat pizza. I would.
You can't eat pizza?
I can't eat gluten, so
Oh wow.
That's a whole different story.
Hey, a little insight into the life of Ralph Romano. He
But I
is
will
gluten
say,
intolerant.
I do like a real Italian pizza. To me, I think it's called. Is it called Red Devil?
Oh, Red Devil's good.
Their pizza
Red
is
Devil
pretty
is
darn
good.
good. I mean, I'm pretty. Have you tried Red Devil yet?
I have not.
Oh,
You
Red
need to try
Devil's
Red
good.
Devil. You would like it. Really good stuff.
Well, before we go to break, I just want to throw out the thing. If you're interested in watching some fireworks tomorrow, the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury, is going to be hosting the Indiana Fever. If you can even get tickets for it, you get a chance to see the one and only time what's going to happen between Diana Taurasi and
seconds.
Caitlin Clark. Is there going to be a fist fight? How many flagrant
5.
fouls will there be? I don't know. Anyway, take
All
us
right,
out.
I'll take us out. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. The Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
What a banger. Man, I love
Frankie
that.
goes to Hollywood.
Don't do it. All right, I'll stop.
Banging that bass
If
now.
you're listening, hey, do us a favor. Check in with us on the text line 888-368-1580, and we want to hear from you. We're actually responding to texts today. For example, Ralph.
Yep, so we have a new texter, 9270, says, Oregano's has the worst pizza. It's so dry and no flavor.
I feel like we've hit it. We've hit a vein with the listeners.
I think we're gonna talk
talking
about
pizza
every week now.
Every
I
week.
think so.
Yeah.
Every week.
We
So-
could do like not we can't do the one bite pizza because obviously Portnoy has
We
that.
could share a pizza and let Ralph just sit there and
watch?
be envy.
Well, that happened at the draft party. I bought everybody pizza, and I sat there and watched everybody eat.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Everybody had their own pizza, and Ralph just sat there.
So you can judge based on the aroma, and then we'll judge based on the taste. I think we got something here.
I'm going to live with this. I love snuff.
Sausages.
Well, if you are a Suns fan, breaking news just came back that Royce O'Neal is returning to the Phoenix Suns on a four-year deal for $44 million. He was-
Donna. Donna. Breaking news. Hey, we're the first ones to break this on this radio station.
I feel broken by breaking it.
Why?
That's weird.
Because it's the Suns.
You know what? You need to be careful. You're still glistening. So
I glisten all the time. Just ask my wife.
Suns are
Anyway.
going to have a better season than the Lakers, so.
Oh, wow.
We actually have a coach.
Oh, wow.
I actually think I might be a temporary Suns fan this next season just to spite
aggravate
you.
me?
Just to aggravate you.
So 9270 back on the text line says, you're correct, Ralph. See, this is a great texter.
Oh, I
You're
see.
correct, Ralph. Red Devil is amazing. Had it last night. See? It is. It's the best pizza in the valley.
I'm not disagreeing.
Is that your
Thank you,
wife texting
9270.
from downstairs? Or
No,
what's
I don't
that?
know. I don't know who 9270 is, but if you want a text name, we can give you a texter name. But right now you're 9270.
I don't know if I can go best pizza in the valley, but it is good.
It's. I mean, I haven't had all the pizza in the valley, but I think it's really good.
It is good.
So hey, before we continue on, I promised I would do this. I'm gonna give a shout out to my friend Joey Lord. There, that's all I got. Joey Lord is his name.
Anybody you
Joey?
want to give a shout out to?
Yeah.
Joey Lord.
Joey Lord, and I want to give a shout out to Tracy Lords. All right, so now that we've done
awesome.
that,
Love it. We can end the show right now, and I'd be good.
all right. So can you believe that we're at the halfway point of the MLB season? That's insane.
I can't. No,
I feel
no,
like we just started.
Yeah, I know. It's like they're talking about the All Star. I'm looking at the calendar, going, "Why is there no break? Oh, it's the All Star break already." Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane. I know you've been going to a lot of games. God help you.
Yeah, it's been rough.
You've been seeing a lot of great teams come in. I think that's awesome.
You mean like the A's
The
last
A's,
night?
who somehow are one of the worst teams in baseball and destroy the Diamondbacks.
The A's are sneaky good. Like losing to the A's,
They are
I don't
not
think
sneaky good.
that is not the same as like losing to, for example, the White Sox this year.
The Twins are sneaky good. But
the Twins. That when I saw that series, I'm like, yep. I'm just thinking to myself, here go the Twins again. They're going to get everybody's hopes up, and then you wait. Sometime in July, August, they're going to just implode, and then it's going to not matter. But no. I just think that I think the A's are better than people think. Ultimately, is what it comes down
Hey,
to.
just real quick on the text line, 9270 is actually Silver Pops. He's just on a different line. So Silver Pops, I didn't know that. So good to hear from you, Silver Pops.
Oh, okay.
So now,
Very cool.
With MLB, who's been the most disappointing? I know. I think.
You want to start at the bottom, okay?
I want to go to the worst team. Well, I'm going to go give it good.
It's
D-backs.
bad news,
Well,
good news.
There's
That's
three
how this
teams.
goes.
There's three teams.
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks are definitely one of them. I mean, there's no doubt. I thought they would be doing a lot better than they are. And what are they? They're sitting at
39.
39 and 43, 11 and a half games behind the mighty Dodgers.
Okay,
Did I
yeah,
say
We're calling them the
Did I
Mighty
say
Dodgers?
Mighty
That
Dodgers.
just came out.
Listen,
Wow.
as I wear Dodger gear, yeah, okay.
So yeah, they're on pace to win 78, 79 games, which
is
I really
bad.
thought they'd win about 92.
yeah,
95.
we had him pegged much higher.
So unless there's a massive turnover, which there could be in the second,
Because they
half,
have 3
they've had
pitchers
injuries.
hurt, so it could
But-
happen.
Corbin Carroll, he had that stretch of a few games where he actually started playing again, and now he's kind of fallen off the cliff again. And you start looking at him and you go, what's wrong with this guy? And his exit velo is down from last year. It's down like 3-4 miles an hour. That doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a big deal. That means he's not hitting the ball that hard.
right.
Last
right?
15 games, Corbin Carroll is only batting .216.
Yeah,
that's
which
bad.
is terrible. And this year he's 1 home run every 122 at bats. Last year it was 1 every 26 at bats. So you start thinking, how's that shoulder doing? I think it's the shoulder. The exit velo
Yeah.
to me is screaming that he's got the shoulder issue because he's not getting that power on the ball, and it doesn't seem like he's doing what he was able to do, and he's flailing at the plate because of it. I think in the beginning of the year, a lot of it was he was swinging at a lot of bad pitches, and we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And I think he's cleaned that up, but now he's just not getting anything on the ball. I really think that shoulder's hurting him. I really do.
Ever
That's
since he hurt his
interesting.
shoulder, he hasn't been the same.
So I would not be surprised, and I'll call it here right now. At some point after the All-Star break, they shut him down.
Oh, that's bold take.
You mean like
I think they're
like,
going to shut
like
him down.
IL
He
or
won't, he won't finish the
DFA?
season. He's going to go IL.
Oh,
he's gonna go
there's
IL.
no way he'll finish the season.
We'll see.
Oh.
I really think the shoulder's worse than you think.
I there's no way they shut him down. If they shut him down, that's like your whole team.
You're 20 games back. What's the point?
I mean, they're not that far back on the wild card though.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're
If they
right.
fall far back, then what's the point? Why get this guy? You need this
True.
guy for future.
I
He's your future.
agree.
Yeah.
It's not worth 1 year. So another disappointing team that has actually started playing better is the Astros. They had a horrendous start.
Yes.
But of late, they're playing a lot better. But still, even the way they're playing, they're only on pace to win 80 games, which that'd be a huge disappointment for the Astros this year.
40 and 41 right now.
Right. But I think they're catching the Mariners. Aren't they like 4 or 5 out now?
5.5
Right. So
out. 8-2 in their last 10 games.
yeah, so they're starting to play better ball.
Yeah,
they're in
they are.
striking distance. But they're at this point, to my opinion, they're still a disappointment at this point.
Yeah. The Rangers though, World Series champions, 37 and 45.
I
Yeah, that's
didn't expect
disappointing.
much from them only because of what they lost. Giving
Okay,
up Montgomery
fair.
and some other things. I didn't think they'd be that.
We're
great.
not talking about Montgomery.
They didn't reload.
We don't talk about that guy on the show till he shows up
Montgomery
because he hasn't showed up in the whole season.
But again, he's just going through his spring training right now.
Yeah, it's
You got to give him that.
for
That's
3 months
true.
now.
I'm trying to help you, man.
Yeah, no, it was watching him a few days ago. It was bad.
Yeah, it's 1 game, 2 games,
3 games,
5
7 games, 8 games, 6.8.
I still say
ERA.
I still say give him a shot. But my other team that I think is a disappointment at this point, was funny. We have a text kind of that mentioning them, is the Chicago Cubs.
Yes,
100%.
Very true.
I was expecting
That's-
a lot more from Chicago.
New
Cubs.
coach.
and they're on pace to win 74 games.
Yeah,
That's surprising to me.
yeah. They had a
Worst in their
chance to-
division.
Yeah, they're in last place, right?
Yep.
Last place Cubs. I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
at
I
all.
kind of thought. I mean, I thought they might win the division. Nope, not that. No, that's
Yeah,
the
they
rate they're
were.
going.
They almost made the playoffs last year. Besides a few games, they eliminated them, and then they hired Craig Counsell. And you think, oh, this is the right move, right direction. Bring back Bellinger, and then nothing.
Cody.
We have a text that actually mentions the Cubs. So we have a text. I think this is Rich in L.A. Dodgeball reference, awesome. Giving you props.
Whoop, whoop.
Modern English, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Need some Oingo Boingo. I absolutely agree. I'm a huge Oingo Boingo
yes,
guy.
you are.
Love
That's
Oingo
true.
Boingo.
That's true.
And he said my Cubs are disappointing. And yeah, and we just brought that up at the same time. So yeah, they are. I don't get what's going on with the Cubs. Shota Imanaga's had a great season to
Yes.
start. I mean, he's been a surprise. They've had a couple other good arms that are throwing well. They're just
Disappointing.
yeah, they're disappointing.
They got to be a seller at the deadline.
You think so?
Oh yes.
Trade Bellinger. He
We've
probably
got-
still has some value.
Did
he's
you
only-
trade Bellinger though?
He only's on a 3-year contract, so get some prospects
Yeah,
for him.
that's true. That based on his contract.
How's his
well-
season going? I haven't looked at his stats. I know he started off pretty decent.
Well, he was part of the Boris group, right?
Yeah, he was part of the Boris 5.
The Boris 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What's-
has any of those Boris 5 free agents, have any of them done well
I think
this
they've
season?
all struggled this year. We're going to talk about another one that's on the list actually next. I'm just curious to see how Bellinger's doing.
Bellinger 267, so batting average, so above league average, 9 home runs, 34 RBIs, so
Okay.
not terrible. He's doing
Not great.
well, but he's not doing his 300 that he did last season.
Yeah, so he's back to average. Which
A little bit
I
above.
kind of expected.
So
that.
if you're an MLB free agent, do not hire Scott Boras as your agent.
Well, and I was looking at one other thing before we get into that. So also, to me, the Mets are kind of a disappointment as well. Same high payroll, same poor results.
They're coming around though.
We'll see. Yeah, they are playing
Ever
better.
since they had that mascot show up, they've been
oh yeah, the Grimace show, and then
And it's been
they,
incredible.
They spanked the Yankees.
But if they don't come around and they have issues, what happens to Pete Alonso? He's probably going to go.
probably.
Some contender's going to grab him.
Yep.
That would make a lot of sense.
But back to your Scott Boras comment, Blake Snell,
That's who I was going
That's
to next.
exactly who he was
Yeah.
thinking of. yeah.
9.51 ERA, 3 losses.
19 innings pitched, I think. Right?
I don't have the innings here,
Yeah,
but I can look it up.
Compared to last year, where he threw 180 innings and a 2.25 ERA. He's an absolute bust.
Insane. So that's Montgomery, Cody Bellinger, Blake Snell, all chased the money with Boras and is backfired. We're seeing a new MLB.
Potentially.
Potentially, you're right. I mean,
But then
I agree.
now we have a new issue of teams signing like Corbin Carroll to these massive contracts when they're younger, and then all of a sudden, year 2 or 3, they struggle really hard, and you're like, "Ooh, was this contract worth it?"
I mean, that's a really good point. I don't like giving these younger guys a lot of money in
Me
these long
either.
contracts.
I don't
think you gotta
either,
wait
yeah.
it out. Let them get through the league 3-4 years and kind of see where they're going. And then if they're at that point, it makes sense to throw some money at somebody.
I agree because right now, like if Corbin Carroll doesn't figure it out, which I still think there's plenty of time for him to figure it out and become Corbin Carroll again, but if he doesn't figure it out, that contract's going to look bad.
Yeah, it's going to look like a Kyler Murray contract.
Whoa, Kyler Murray is a potential superstar this season.
Are we
so.
going to go down this
Superstar.
path again?
Okay,
Maybe
no, we're
we
not going
should.
there. We're stopping.
I
We're
feel
not
like we
going there.
should, honestly.
So let's talk about some of the surprises this year so
Okay.
far. Some of the biggest surprises. To me, there's a couple. Right off the bat, if you're a Dodger fan, Gavin Stone is one of the biggest surprises of the year.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, he just threw a complete game shutout against the White Sox the other day.
yeah, when was the last time Dave Roberts allowed a pitcher to throw a complete
A
game?
Dodger hasn't thrown a complete game, I think, especially a shutout since 2013. But he's 9-2 with a 2.35 ERA. This guy should be an all-star. He better be an all-star. No one saw that one.
He's
coming.
not going to be because no one else really knows about him outside of Dodger fans or people.
No,
who've
they're starting to
faced
know
him.
who he is now because he's dominating the league. And then I'm thinking also, you look at the Royals, Seth Lugo.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo, who has a 2-year, $30 million contract with the Royals. I mean, he began the season 9-1 with a 2.13 ERA. He's killing it for the Royals. I mean, wow. I really think he's having a great year. And one other guy that I've never liked, who's on $1 million 1-year contract with the Padres, is Profar. Profar is a guy that's just been an player his whole career. He's hitting 325 this year.
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
he's the best player on the Padres right now. No one saw it.
better than Manny Machado.
He's performing better than Machado, better than Tatis on $1 million contract.
Tatis has never been the
Right?
same
He hasn't.
since he came back from his.
It's like after you stop taking steroids, you're just not the same player.
Yeah.
It's
And
really
then
weird.
the Phillies have another pitcher. So Ranger Suarez, guy's 9-1 with a 1.70 ERA. We've been talking about him parts of this season too.
Yes.
He came out of nowhere, 9-1. I mean, 9-1, 1.7 ERA through 12 starts. This guy is balling on the mound. Really like him. And then we already talked about Shota. Shota's been a surprise. No one thought he'd be that good for the Cubs, and he's had a great year.
Yes.
Those are any other surprises you guys can think of? Those are some of the ones that really stood out. Nothing.
No, I don't have anything in particular as far as individual performances.
Teams?
But I just feel like, well, it's like I think about, because I obviously have a little bit of background in AL Central.
Right.
The Twins are doing what the Twins do is they give you hope and then they let you down. Byron Buxton is having a decent year. This is amazing. Byron Buxton's, for the most part, has stayed relatively injury-free this season, whereas the last couple of years, Byron Buxton's great, and then he injures himself the first, round second in Boston and hurts himself. But I think that's been a decent surprise. I mean, the surprise is that Buxton hasn't been injured significantly yet. Again, now that I said that, I probably jinxed it. He's
You just
going to
jinxed
get
the
injured
heck out of
today.
it.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
What about Cleveland?
Cleveland rocks.
Did anyone see this coming?
No.
51-29? Cleveland?
Cleveland rocks, baby.
I mean, I thought when we looked at that division in the beginning of the year, we talked about it's a pretty open division.
Yes.
We felt Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City, even Detroit, we thought we would play better because they're kind of a disappointment so far. But Cleveland is just killing it. I think they have the best record in the American League.
It's the top. Those are the top 3 teams.
Orioles,
competing.
Yankees, and Guardians all are over 50. But
Yeah.
right now the
Yeah,
Yankees.
but percentage-wise, they're 638. That's the best record.
In the AS Central, it's between it's Guardians, Twins, Royals. The Tigers and White Sox. You can just go ahead and phone it in.
Has
for
the White
rest of
Sox played this year?
Well, they have people with uniforms who walked onto a field. I think that counts as playing.
Their stadium was actually full the other night. People were like wondering on Twitter, like, why is it full? And they're like, oh, it was a bobblehead giveaway. That's why.
With Bobble giveaway, and it was Dodgers were there, so they tend to draw
It was great.
pretty well
I
anyway.
was laughing.
So, how many games did the Dodgers lose to the White Sox this year?
0.
How many games
Wow.
did the Diamondbacks lose to the White Sox?
I don't want to talk about it.
How many?
I don't know.
I think it was
believe
one. I think they only lost one, but still,
I don't put stock in that. As much as I want to.
it doesn't.
I
yeah,
know.
exactly.
I
It's
know.
like the Mets blowing out the Yankees. I mean, you got to have something to root for as a Mets fan, but the Yankees are like, we don't. I think someone asked them, "What do you think of the Yankees?" or "What do you think of the Mets?" And the Yankees are like, "We don't really think about them." It's kind of like the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks.
Being at the halfway point that we are, what are we expecting in the second half? So, I mean, to me, I knew the Dodgers and Yankees were going to be probably the talent in the league. I thought they'd be the 2 best teams, and they pretty much are, with the exception of, the Phillies are having a great year, the Orioles are having a great year. We just talked about the Guardians. But when it's all said and done, I really like the Dodgers and Yankees this year. What do you think we see in the second half? I mean, what do you predictions? What do you guys think?
I have a hard time like across the board, but obviously there's going to be a team, maybe 2 teams that hit. They strike lightning strikes, and they just go on a crazy run, a la Diamondbacks last year. I think that my bold prediction is that the Twins are actually going to come back from behind. They're back 7 games now. I think they're going to win the AL Central.
Really?
Because they always tend to do that. I think they will. They'll have a rough point. It'll be very competitive. It'll actually be great to watch if you're a fan. But I think ultimately they're going to lose in the first round, like they always do. But I at least think they're going to. I think they're going to overtake the Guardians.
So that's a pretty bold. I disagree with you 100%, but I mean I get it. That's a bold prediction.
Hey, it's a bold move, Cotton.
What do you see?
I'm just interested to see who actually wins versus the Orioles or Yankees. They're both just really good teams. I think the Yankees take it. I do, but I'd be curious just to watch how that finishes the AL East.
Do the Red Sox get back in it?
I don't think so. I don't think you can. I just think the Orioles and Yankees are just. I do think Yankees are the best team in the AL, but I just think the Orioles might be able to give them a run.
Okay. I mean, I think you're right. I think that's probably the best race.
Probably
in baseball,
because there's no other real good ones. Maybe the Guardians and Twins, if he really thinks the Twins going to overtake the Guardians, which I could see the Guardians just disappearing just because it was kind of out of nowhere.
How many games did Dodgers win the division by?
I don't know. Padres are playing somewhat decent.
That's a tough one. I think
over under 10.
Over.
Ooh.
16.
I'll take the over as well,
16,
but
17.
only by like 11.
I would say 8 or 9 because I think the Padres are going to stay.
Well, here's the thing.
relevant.
On paper, the Dodgers should do nothing but accelerate after this because they get Kershaw back, they get Bobby Miller back, they'll get Mookie Betts back. The player I'm worried about, since we're talking about the Dodgers, the player I'm worried about the most as far as like staying on the roster is Chris Taylor.
Why? He's batting 100?
He's batting 100. His defense is mostly okay. I just feel
He's a
like
good
I've seen a
outfielder.
lot of errors that involve him. I mean, it's a little tough being a utility player. You have to play third base, and I got to play center field, whatever. But I'm worried that he's hopefully. I'm hoping as a fan, and also my wife is a huge Chris Taylor fan. She actually has a Chris Taylor jersey, so I'm personally hoping that he can figure it out because he has a chance. I mean, he might lose his spot.
And you are going to L.A. next week.
Yeah, on the 4th. I'm going out. Hopefully I come back. Heard.
Hopefully.
The good news is
You're gonna be
The
fine.
Dodgers don't think of the Diamondbacks as a rival, so it's
don't.
great. Like we can't stand you guys, but like you guys just think we're
don't-
like the little sister that no one cares
Listen,
about.
just don't be obnoxious.
Oh, I'm
And-
not.
And everyone's going to be. I mean, I don't think you're going to be. You're not that type. But that's the only thing. Just don't be obnoxious, and you're going to be okay.
I really want to hear when you get back. I want to hear your thoughts on a couple things. Number one, the interaction with Dodger fans.
Yes.
How they were with you. Number two, what you think about that stadium as far as the aura that's in there, the history that portrays itself when you go into that stadium. I want you to go out in the center field and check out that area.
That's where I was told not to go.
Well, you can't go sit in the bleachers. That's a good thing. But you need to go out in the pavilion out in center field and go look. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you got to say about that.
All right, folks. So if you want to keep listening to us ramble on, follow us over to YouTube at the top of the hour for our Weekend Warriors live post-game show. If you want to stick around on this station, we've got Keon Rose with Without Interruption coming up next.
Can we text him and interrupt him?
I think we probably should. Yeah, do not text us. It's not going to matter. If you text that number, you're going to go to Keon Rose.
Right, we'll be on chat on YouTube, so
That's
you can go
right.
ahead and talk to us that way.
Exactly.
So, hey, another great show. There's so much more to talk about, and we'll hit on some of that in the post-game show. So, thanks for everybody coming and listening to us this morning. If you're watching us on YouTube, we'll see you in a few minutes on live. And
don't forget to follow us on all the social medias.
Yeah.
All of them.
Great show. Hey, have a great week. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. Doo-doo!